This week on Crowdfunding Nerds, we are joined by Robin Stokkel of River Rats fame, and he provided a great breakdown of his play-by-play leading up to his campaign, during his campaign, and his takeaways after his campaign. Let's get into it.
Hey folks, this episode is brought to you by Hero Time Manufacturing. That is Hero Time, the numeral1.com. Perchglek has been a regular on our podcast. We highly recommend his services. He is a man of integrity. Hero Time, they can make anything. They've got competitive pricing and they even do game prototypes. So make sure to check out Hero Time, numeral1.com. A link is in the show notes. And if you use the code Crowdfunding Nerds 101, you can get a 3% discount on your production through them. Let's get back into the episode.
Game begin. Let's go.
Or the Alliance.
Amazing.
Well, welcome everyone to another exciting episode of the Crowdfunding Nerds. And today I'm joined by Donnie of the Crowdfunding Nerds and Robin Stokkel, who has has just funded a very successful card game called River Rats. And we're here to dissect the marketing efforts. Not only that, he's also produced a phenomenal roadmap of everything that he did before launch. So it's a great resource for people who are thinking of going to Kickstarter for the first time, and you can kind of review someone who's maybe a step ahead of you. So, Robin, welcome to the podcast. Good to have you.
Yeah, great to be here. Super excited to be on this podcast that I've been listening to for years now. So very happy to be here.
Oh, always glad to have listeners come on and share their experiences. And I know you also was someone who jumped in on our Crowdfunding Nerds Academy course as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. This was my second campaign. I did a campaign before, and there I hired another digital marketing company. But I figured I could do it myself. And you guys we're about to launch the Crowdfunding Academy, Crowdfunding Nerds Academy. So I figured I'd get early in on that, and it was really useful actually. Yeah.
Great. Well, I'm glad you found that useful. And then we were also able to jump in and help with your live campaign once I think you probably realized it was too much to do to do everything yourself. You needed a bit of help just coming in.
Yeah, it was so much. There's so much to do with already preparing fulfillment, manufacturing, answering all the backers' questions, finishing up all the artwork and everything at once, and thinking of how to do the ads at the same time. It was just a bit too much. And also I felt that I lacked a bit of confidence here and there to make the right decision. So I wasn't sure what the right decision was. So I asked for your help actually, Sean. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we jumped in. So that's great. So I know we will clearly link in the show notes that you've done I suppose like a roadmap is what I would call this, or a timeline of your entire marketing experience for River Rats. Maybe before we kind of jump into that, maybe just tell everyone what is River Rats and why did you create this card game?
Yeah, sure. So River Rats is a cooperative card game for 1 to 4 players, and the nice thing about it is you can play it with a regular deck of cards. So anybody can play it around the world. You don't have to buy it. You can just already play it. But if you want a thematic version with, I think super nice artwork, you can buy it. It's a late batch on Kickstarter now, and it's a cooperative poker. So you play together with your team members against the rich river rats who challenge you into a high stakes poker game, and you want to beat them and send them back to their cabins a bit poorer than they came.
Great, and this is one of these projects where I suppose if it comes to us, we would kind of meet with apprehension. I don't know how well this would do on Kickstarter, just because it's not one of these kind of big box miniature games, big campaign games. It's a very much just a retheming or rebranding of a deck of cards, but you've also added this other kind of gaming elements there. But you knocked it out the water. I think you did a phenomenal job marketing this. I think the results you got were stellar. And I believe you're still getting pledges and even the lay pledge at this stage. So it's going to be worthwhile just dissecting exactly what you did and what worked, what didn't work for the audience. So as I said, you've done this massive timeline, and we'll clearly link in the show notes for people to see. So what was the kind of thought process of piecing this together? Did you start? Was this something you did post-campaign? Was this something that you're putting together even before you went to Kickstarter?
I wish I put it together before Kickstarter. That would have saved me so much time. Um, but no, I did the post campaign. I wanted to do it during or pre Kickstarter, but I just didn't get to it. And now I spend like all this money. I spent money, of course, on the courses. I spent money on the ads. I put so much effort in it, and I wanted to know what worked and what didn't. Because the idea is that I'm going to launch more and more games, which you can also play with regular decks of playing cards. So that's sort of the idea of my business. So I wanted to know how I can, optimize that for the future, basically.
Wonderful. So do you want to start taking us through this? I know that you start here with organic engagements, I suppose, before you even went to even consider something like Meta or whatever type of advertising platform. You've done some organic stuff. Do you want to kind of run us through the beginning portion of your timeline here?
Yeah, of course. So at the beginning, I think we had a game that was done-ish, and we had some first art pieces in September of 2024, last year. So yeah, the game was working well, and at that time, a Board Game Geek contest started, the traditional deck game design contest. I've participated a few times already in that. So yeah, I figured just that would be a good good medium to present the game to and get some initial feedback also. It doesn't get a lot of eyeballs, but it's really nice because people are very friendly and they start playing the game and provide you with feedback. So that was useful. And then also, since I was already having some piece of art, I always feel like that's a good point to start posting and getting feedback on Reddit, because I'm like, that's my main social medium where I go to for casual things as well. That's where I'm most comfortable. So I figured, let's just go there and try to see what the Reddit community thinks of it.
Now I know
sorry, go ahead.
I know when we were doing the live campaign together that you had some difficulties on Reddit, even though you're a frequent Redditor, you know how to use the systems, you abide by the rules, but even then you were still kind of getting shut down. Do you want to maybe talk into that just very briefly, the do's and don'ts of Reddit organic marketing?
Yeah, I think the Reddit community is very against marketing in general. So I also tried out ads, for example, on Reddit. They don't work, at least not for me. But anytime somebody like sort of has the smell of marketing or they're trying to sell you something, you get reported to the moderators and your post gets taken down, or you get a lot of downvotes or negative feedback. So you really have to see. You really have to contribute, I think, in Reddit. So if you post something, it has to be either really engaging, so a very nice picture, or some choices that people can vote on. That usually works well. But if it's a story, hey, I made this game, it's super cool, buy it now, then it will be destroyed basically on Reddit.
I noticed that you tagged the Samurai Jack community for the artwork. What was the kind of reception you got from that community?
Yeah, good question. Actually, that was pretty good. Because maybe to a bit of background, the inspiration for the artwork was the Samurai Jack artwork, and that's a cartoon which was on it was on Cartoon Network. I really like the art style, so I wanted the same style in my game. So it was the inspiration. So I posted a card. That's the first post I did. I think there was sort of the illustration for one card. And I asked them, like, do you think I'm making this card game. Do you think it really, embodies the art style of Samurai Jack? And the reactions were pretty positive, actually. So if I can look into it, of course, and people were saying quite nice things. I got like, on this, it's a very small community, and I got like 107 upvotes, which is pretty good, and 36,000 views on it.
Yeah, that's really great, especially for kind of a niche community.
Yeah, exactly. I only got 15 comments, but they were all positive. And somebody was like, yeah, this could be from season 1 of Samurai Jack. So yeah, that was quite nice.
That's pretty cool, because I've literally just purchased season 1 and been going it through with my kids watching Samurai Jack. So it's
That's awesome.
that was brought up again. I find that the secret with Reddit is not to share links. That's it. If you want to do any marketing, don't share any links.
No
And
links.
the only
And then
links you share is
somebody,
if someone's knocking on your door, share the link. Share. Okay, fine, I'll share the link. That's the only time you ever share links, and that's how you kind of do organic marketing on Reddit.
exactly. Yeah, that's it. If somebody asks, you are allowed to share it, but do not put it in your main post, basically.
So I think this is one reason why Reddit ads don't do particularly well, is because the whole Reddit community has really trained themselves not to click links, and the whole purpose of an ad is to get someone to click a link. So I've never seen a campaign do well on Reddit with Reddit ads, apart from big IPs. Like, you're talking some of the biggest IPs in the world, they run Reddit ads, and yes, they can make those profitable. They can make those work. So yeah, I think that's the key to organic marketing on Reddit, is not to share links unless people are knocking down the door saying share the link, and then you share the link. So that's
Right.
what I found to be effective on Reddit.
Right, and that's what I was going to say, is that you really want to play up the intrigue side of it. So, because marketing is obviously a lot broader than just running ads, right? Marketing is getting the word out, finding the audience for your product. So on Reddit, it seems like that's the best way to go. It's like, here's this thing. I just want feedback, or hey, I just want some input. And then if someone somewhere, if they're interested, is like, okay, now you can share the link. That seems like a natural progression on Reddit. Because my experience with Reddit, I use it as a resource for people that's like, if I'm looking for information, kind of like YouTube in a lot of ways, there's entertaining things on there, but it's really a big data bank of a resource of finding wisdom of people who have gone before you with whatever problem you have. So in terms of game design, that makes a lot of sense, where it's, hey, here's this problem I have, or hey, here's this goal I'm trying to hit. Does it hit that goal?
Yeah, exactly. That's also how I use Reddit. Even if you go to a foreign place or a city and you want to find a good restaurant, you just look on Reddit, and there's so many, tips and advice. So yeah, it's that makes sense.
Hey, crowdfunding nerds, if you're looking for an awesome fulfillment partner for US shipping, you should really consider Bridge Distribution and Fulfillment. I personally use them. I've used them for multiple projects. They do such a great job. They also can fulfill Amazon orders and get you prepped for Amazon and their warehousing team. I have been so happy using Bridge Distribution. I'm really proud that they're sponsoring us. If you reach out, bridgedist.com, that's bridgedist.com, let them know we sent you. All right, now back to the show.
Cool. So another thing that you tried was Substack, that you have here in your kind of early stage organic marketing. What was the reason of using Substack, and what was the sort of results?
I used Substack mainly as a newsletter, I would say, not so much as a newsletter / blog. And what I did, so everybody who in my previous campaign said that they wanted to keep posted, subscribe basically to my newsletter, I imported those into Substack. And so I had 925 people on my mailing list. And yeah, I just posted about the game design. First, I was working on another game called Dream Guardians, put that in the freezer. That, sort of evolved into River Rats. So I kept them up to date on this process. And the open rate on Substack was really high, near 60%. So that was really good.
It is good.
Back then. Yeah.
Particularly with Substack, because you have no way of segmenting. So that's the one advantage of Substack. It's free. You can kind of send out emails. There's very basic automation there. But if you want to like resend to people who didn't open, you can't do that on Substack. No. So it is very limited, but it's a great free resource when you're starting out, when you have less than 1,000 email subscribers, and it's a great place to just kind of be able to capture emails.
Yeah. But that's exactly the reason why I moved away from Substack later for the newsletter, because you can't pre-send things and you can't segment, and it was necessary later on.
Okay, so now tell us about the next section, the 3 months to launch. What exactly did you do here, and what did and didn't work?
3 months to launch. So we're now in February of 2025. That's when I put live my landing page. So I basically followed all the crowdfunding nerd tips on how to set up the landing page. And I think I even copied it pretty much from one of your clients. But then, of course, with my own content and artwork. And I made sure that people could put in their email addresses, right, to capture their emails and add them to my mailing list. And that's also when I started posting, trying to post a bit more and do a bit more on Reddit, for example. I started to reach out to content creators, because then I had something to show them in my emails.
Getting the landing page is crucial. because as far as I remember, we even used it in your live campaign, and it drove a lot of sales to your live Kickstarter because we were able to drive traffic to the landing page because it was optimized and it converted well. It got the right people interested. They would then go from the landing page to the live Kickstarter and back, and we saw a lot of conversions that way. I think that's our primary way of driving backers was actually through the landing page. So it shows the importance of getting that right early on and kind of A/B testing and switching things out during the pre-marketing stage. Was that something you did? Were you constantly changing and modifying the page?
Honestly, not too much. It was I changed a few things because I had a call with Andrew where we went over the landing page, and he gave some tips, and we rewrote. We did some wording a little bit differently, and I think I changed one image on there, but the rest was pretty. Well, apparently it was pretty good already. So yeah, that was quite convenient.
Great. You've obviously been listening to the Crowdfunding Nerds podcast.
Yeah, and I spent so many hours.
So yeah, you also mentioned here that you took the course, and was this the 3 bundle course you did all 3, or was this just one of the 3?
Yeah, I got sort of early access for all 3. Yeah,
got it. Okay, cool. And then out of those 3 courses, which one was kind of particularly helpful in just kind of helping you achieve your goals?
I think the Facebook ads one, because that's the thing that I hadn't spent much time thinking about yet, and I didn't know anything about. So like setting up the account and all the basics, I didn't know how to do. I could kind of figure it out through the internet, but it was so much nicer because it just told me what to do, where to click, what to fill in, etc. And it was really nice. And also some considerations when you're starting to launch your ads, and that really helped me to give some confidence, because I kind of knew ish how it would work, but yeah, you're spending money, right? And then you feel a bit hesitant on if you're doing the right job, and having this foundation provided by the course, that helped me a lot, I think, just to proceed and go through with it.
So we tend to update the course every year. So around Christmas time, we kind of review and we update it. Is there anything that you would like to see added to the course or changed?
Oh, it's been a while since I did it. I think I already sent Andrew like a huge list of things that I thought could be different or more in depth. And I also asked a lot of questions, right, on the course itself, because it allows you to ask questions on the particular subject matters. And then you, I think, Sean, I'll usually answer. So that was quite helpful as well, actually. Yeah, and combined with these 2 things, I think I got everything I needed. The only thing that I'm wondering right now, because now I'm of course post-campaign, is how to proceed with ads for e-commerce later on.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So maybe a little something to think about for you guys.
I know one thing I'm definitely going to add to the kind of Facebook course is how to build a landing page without WordPress, because I think in the course we kind of talk about WordPress, and that can be a bit cumbersome for people, finding their own hosting and setting up a WordPress site. So I have this because I had someone else mention this, using something like MailerLite, the built-in landing page features, which are actually quite robust, and it even has pixel integration. So that's something I'll be adding to the course closer to Christmas. Just using something like the MailerLite built-in email builder, and that can help people. So yeah, I'm glad you found that helpful. I'm glad that it met your needs. And yeah, certainly e-commerce is something we can definitely tackle in the future. So next, you mentioned content creators. You want to talk a little bit about reaching out to people, and what was that like?
Yeah, so I made I'm not going to I can't show it, but I made a huge list of content creators who I thought were could be where my game would be a good fit, basically. And I was looking at other content creators who reviewed similar types of games, like Regicide, which is also a game that you can play with a regular deck of playing cards. And some earlier content creators that I already knew from my previous games. So yeah, I had a budget of about 2,000 euros, $2,300, I think, to spend on content creators. I spent it in total on 4 of the content creators, and the rest was free. And I think I had a lot of Instagrammers and maybe 10 YouTubers or so. So the YouTubers and some reviewers who make written content, I just emailed them. yeah, you could usually find their email addresses on their website or on YouTube. And then I just, emailed them, told them a bit about the game, how long it was going to play, what the timelines are, when my Kickstarter launch was, and if I now asked them if they could send over, their terms and conditions, basically what would it cost, what would I get for that. They usually have a kit for that they send to you, and then you get all the information and all the options and all the prices, etc.
And how do you find people were generally charging? Was it just
It was
based on views?
I think so. Maybe based on subscribers. It feels more on subscribers than on views.
Okay.
But yeah, the prices range from like, let's say, $500 to $5,000. Yeah, it's
Okay.
crazy how much variety there is. And I'm not always sure if I can understand why this channel charges $5,000 while the Dice Tower maybe is much cheaper, for example.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine it comes down to maybe their schedules. Is this a project that they're excited for? If they're not, or so on and so forth. I'm sure a lot of those factors come into play. And then maybe it's just ignorance. They think this is how much you charge for this content, and they're completely overpriced. Like it possibly could happen, or underpriced if they don't really understand the value that they're generating.
There are a lot of content creators that don't charge, like One Stop Co-op Shop. They do not charge anything, for example, and they are always open to get your game if it's cooperative at least, and then they play it, test it out, and if they like it, they'll review it and make content for it. And if they don't like it, they just tell you they don't like it, it's not for them, and they don't make a video for it. So
Okay.
yeah, I think that's a very nice approach, and I wish more creators would approach it in that way.
Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. Is there anything else in that section before you move on or down this list?
No, not right now. Yeah, maybe about the Instagram accounts. There are so many, and to be honest, how I approach that for myself, because there's hundreds or thousands. I don't know how many there are. And I just went for the people who lived in the Netherlands. I'm from the Netherlands, so just people nearby, because it's cheaper to send your prototype to within the Netherlands than abroad. That was the main reason. And you always have a bit of a likability factor if you're from the same country, right? So I just approached all the Dutch Instagram creators, basically.
Cool. And did they? I imagine those were probably done in Dutch. Or were they in English?
It varies a bit, yeah. Most of them do both an English and a Dutch version in their posts, and then they say English below or Dutch below or something like that. Yeah.
Is it quite a large board game or tabletop community in the Netherlands?
Yeah, I think it's huge. I think together with probably the UK, Germany, France, we're on the top of the board game communities in Europe, at least. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, interesting.
I have noticed in a lot of our Euro campaigns that Italy has been coming up a lot stronger. I've noticed that a lot more, which I found kind of fascinating. Like, okay, like I feel like it's kind of, it's growing there, which is nice to see. And then Spain and Portugal as well. I've been seeing higher numbers in some different campaigns as well. So I need to do more research if it's the type of game or if it's just board gaming in general, if it's becoming more popular in those countries as well.
Yeah, I actually also saw that, especially Italy. I saw a lot of Italian backers this time, and I wasn't sure why. But yeah, no, it's cool to see.
That's great. That was the question I was going to ask you. What was your ratio? Because obviously with this type of marketing, you were going more towards Dutch Instagram creators. What was your overall percentage based on like North America and Europe as far as backers go?
Yeah, so I have 749 backers. Let's say 750. But 340 are from the US. So that's, I don't know, a little less than 50%. Then about 100 are from the Netherlands. So that's quite a lot for this small country. And then comes the UK with 50, Germany with 40. And then it's just, smaller numbers, basically. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I find that the kind of the big four would be the United Kingdom, Germany, France, and Spain. Those are kind of the big ones usually that kind of up on the. But then I also think what's great about this game is that it's so language independent, right? There's no kind of text on cards. It's playing cards, and then you just have to provide the rules. And you could probably find someone in your community who would be willing to translate the rules in a particular language. So that's one of the advantages of the type of game.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, actually, I didn't add that to the marketing timeline that we're discussing, but I have asked the community to make translations of the rules and the player aids. And I've got, I've got, how many languages do I have now? So I made the Dutch one myself. I started with English, then I have French, German, Italian, Spanish, Swedish, Ukrainian, and Polish and Icelandic coming soon. So that's all from people who are just volunteering to translate the rules. So that's really cool.
That's my wife. She could do Irish for you.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Gaelic.
Yeah. That's great. I think finding your community and getting people who are passionate and just want to help out is a great way to kind of involve them in the project.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Great. So now we get into some of your paid advertising. So it looks like your cost per lead came closer to $250, and which you're aiming for. So that's kind of on the mark in terms of averages, which can be challenging, right? Because with a kind of smaller, like a tuck box game, your margins are much smaller. So 250 might be good for other projects, but that might not work out for you. I know this is something that we had a conversation about, was trying to increase your average order value and offer bundles or different kind of higher tier pledges.
Yeah, that's what we did. So it was the plan to try out to increase the average order. I don't have the number here, but I think it was around. So my game in itself was €17. So let's say $19, and then I think the average order or the average pledge was about 28, €29 in the end. So yeah, I managed to increase it by adding play mats, custom poker chips, offering a bundle of different things, also with posters, postcards, prototypes that I have here, for example, all these kind of things. So it did help to increase the average order. It also cost a lot of work, to be honest, on the production side of things. Yeah. So I'm not sure yet if it's worth it. Yeah. Now because I had since the deck of playing cards, I had very heavy requirements on the cards and the tuck box, and I wanted to produce it with a certain manufacturer who only produced playing cards. So that meant I had to find other manufacturer for the poker chips, the play mats, a custom pouch, etc. All the other stuff, basically. So yeah, it's a logistical challenge, so to say, to get this all done. But it's nice. It made the ads worthwhile, so that's the good part. But it also cost a lot of work on the other side.
And in terms of your advertising, I know that it was a particular video that did really well. I know that from running the ads. So you had a professional video done of people playing the cards, kind of like a lifestyle type of video ad done. Maybe talk a little bit about the process of that. Why did you choose that? Why did you do something 3D or just do it yourself?
Well, I for this particular video, I wanted to make a video that showed what the gameplay was, because then I could reuse it for multiple things. So I could use it as a trader video for the Kickstarter. I wanted to use it also for the ads. And I wanted to use it for the GIFs on the Kickstarter page to show what the gameplay is like. So that way I think I spent like €350 or something on shooting and editing of the video. And I can reuse that video over and over again for different purposes. So that was really, really nice. And the ad video itself was 16 seconds, I think, in the end, I landed on. I edited it myself with CapCut. Because the content was already like high quality, it was pretty easy to edit, and it worked. So
did you employ like a videographer, or did you do the video yourself?
No, I employed a videographer. I knew
cool.
him from a previous project where he also did the video, and then he also did a video for a friend of mine in the past. So it was a bit via that I got to know him. But yeah, he was pretty professional.
Great. And then you save costs by just editing it yourself.
Yeah, well, he actually edited the trailer for the Kickstarter, but the
Okay.
rest of the stuff I did myself. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, I know that DaVinci Resolve is sort of free editing software for anyone who maybe is in a position where you're trying to make every dollar stretch and you just need to get some professional video. You can't cut it yourself with the tools out there.
Yeah, for sure.
Great. So and then we move on to 1 month to launch, and I suppose you continue to do your advertising. You kind of talk about your open rates here, and they all look pretty strong. Was there any concerns kind of coming up to launch, because you seem to be getting a good cost per lead, you seem to be getting good email open rates, everything seems to be chugging along quite nicely here from what I can see of your pre-campaign.
Yeah, I think so too. Actually, I think it went as expected. It didn't go better than expected, but it went exactly as I thought it would go, which is also nice to have some predictability, right? Of course, I was hoping that it would be much better than I would expect, but it was exactly as expected. And of course, if the ads, the cost per lead, are indeed coming to a point that you're happy with, for me, it was €2.50 per lead. So yeah, we landed on there on average. So that was pretty good. So it all went pretty smoothly. And also, I think the open rate of the newsletters was around 55% if I did a resend. It was around 40% if I did not resend, which is, I think, also are pretty good if I listened enough to your podcast and got all the numbers straight.
You did some. I'm reading here. You did some retargeting that didn't really work out too well for you. Was there anything else in terms of your pre-campaign marketing that just fell flat? You felt?
A lot of things. I think. Looking at the charts, the people at home don't see it, but there on the page that I made, I have charts, and there are the events. So every time I sent out a newsletter or an Instagram post from some influencer came online or a review came online, it's all plotted there, including the visitors to my landing page and my Kickstarter page. So you can nicely see if they impacted, basically, because I'm also tracking organic traffic and the ad traffic. And I don't think any of the content creators who publish something really moved the needle. So I was hoping there, especially like for example, I had one big account on TikTok. They had 1.5 million followers and about 1 million followers on Instagram. So I was really expecting something happening once they posted their video live, and it was a really nice video. It looked great. I actually really liked it. It got a lot of engagement as well, like thousands of likes and views, but it got 0 conversions to either visitors or even pledges. So that was a bit of a disappointment, I would say. And indeed, like you said before, the retargeting. So I tried it out. We had a conversation about it, I think. Tried it out to retarget people who already visited the landing page, and then retargeted them with another ad more directly to go straight to Kickstarter. That didn't really. I couldn't get that to work. That might have been my skills on ad making.
Yeah, so now we move on to the day 1 and day 2 of your campaign launch. Once again, you're so detailed here. You kind of share everything. I know we're kind of going step by step through your entire launch. So maybe tell us about day 1 and day 2. What worked, what didn't work? Day 1, day 2.
Let me have a look. So the thing that definitely worked really well is all the stuff I did myself. So WhatsApping all my friends and family was caused a big problem. Of course, I already talked about my game a lot with them over the past months, maybe until they got bored of me. But that in the end they all came through, and that was super nice. What also worked really well was just the newsletter that I sent to all the people that I got through the ads and through my previous campaign. So a lot of conversion came from there. And then I think, but I'm not entirely sure because I couldn't really measure that. But I think some Reddit posts really converted pretty well on day one.
Okay.
So, but that's a bit difficult to track with, how the Kickstarter tracking isn't super accurate. Mm-hmm. So I couldn't really track it, but I did see a lot of traffic coming to my landing page from Kickstarter as well, from Reddit as well.
Cool. And then we move on to the live campaign period. And this is where I know I came on. I think I came on maybe, was it a week into your launch or at some point anyway, to, I think first just kind of review what you were doing and then actually jump in and manage your ads and kind of get the ball rolling here. So maybe we just focus on what worked best for the actual live campaign.
Yeah, this is where it gets tricky, I think, because we kept running ads, right? So those kept converting. I think, I should have put the conversion rates here, but I think we converted them at some point at €6.80 per backer. Is that right? I think that's something like that.
Look at my spreadsheet that I kept. Get that up.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I think in the end it's about seven, let's say €7 or so per backer.
We can look at the average, I suppose, here. Yeah, so it's about €5.64 on average.
Oh, even better. Yeah, nice.
Look at that. So great. Yeah, that's kind of what the now that's looking at total, right? So that's everything in, everything out. So it's probably not 100% accurate, but it gives you an idea at least of how much relative to the total ad spend you're spending per someone backing on the actual page itself, whether that was directly or indirectly.
Yeah, exactly. I think apart from ads, there were a few things that worked pretty well. I posted on LinkedIn twice during the campaign, and both of them got a lot of views. I don't know how many, but like a lot of views. So I got at least 100 likes, and I think a couple of thousands of views on it. And I know for a fact that a lot of people came from there and actually backed the campaign. So that worked really well.
Would LinkedIn be something that you'd use quite regularly and kind of building up an audience there?
Well, I used to do sales for my job, so I used to engage a lot through LinkedIn. So I think I got like 3,500 followers on LinkedIn or connections, if you will. Yeah. Okay. So that helps.
Yeah.
That's also why I posted there, of course, because I thought it would reach a large audience with the connection I have.
And could you give any tips in terms of using LinkedIn? Are you posting on your own profile page? Are you going to like a group and posting there? What kind of
No, I just posted on my own profile page. It was more of a story, how the game came together, that I'm proud of it, of what we built and what we've made, and that everybody should just check it out. And I felt like I could post a link there right away. Some people don't do that and post it then in the comments because it's better for LinkedIn algorithms, but I just posted it right away. So it's more sort of the origin story of the game that I told there. It's a first post. And the second post, sort of a version of that again, basically.
Did you have like a before after photo? What was the kind of imagery that you used on the post?
Good question. Let's see. I forgot. Oh, actually, the first post I used a video that I used for ads. Okay. Exactly the same video, the 16 seconds video, which I used on the Meta ads. And I think the second post was indeed a photo of myself holding the prototype, basically. Cool. Make it I think it's good. Like in the video, you also see my face and see me talking. So I think on LinkedIn, it's good if you make it personal, and then you get more engagement.
Okay, cool.
I was curious about the was it Ender's Game? Great name, by the way. So are they or is that a person who deals in like the poker, like that card game community, or within like the more like board game card game community? And what was the result you got from that, or what was the end result that you got from their efforts?
Yeah, good question. So Ender's Game is it's a person. He is very, very active in two communities, in the card game community, also on Board Game Geek, but also on Reddit, and in the playing cards community. So there's a whole community of people that collect nice decks of playing cards, beautiful decks, collectors decks, etc. And he reviews decks and the quality of the cards and how they're printed, etc. And he also reviews card games. And he does that both on BGG, on Board Game Geek, and on Reddit, and on some of the playing card community websites. Like you've got United Cardists, for example. And I chose my manufacturer based on articles that he wrote about playing card manufacturers. So I engaged with him a bit on Reddit about what manufacturer to choose, which has the best price versus quality ratio. He was always super kind and giving me all kinds of information. So we kept engaging a bit on this game, and I shared with him what I was working on. He was pretty excited about it, and then he proposed to me that can I post a review of your game and post some information on Board Game Geek and Reddit and all the other things that all the other media that he's active on. So I said, yeah, sure, please, I would love for you to do that. And then he did that. He posted, I think, a pictorial review on 3 different subreddits and on Board Game Geek, and then he posted somewhere else on Board Game Geek, and so he commented on every single Reddit thread where he could. So it was really, really kind of him to do so. And I think that, and since he is already sort of a respected community member on both Reddit and Board Game Geek, a lot of people trust his opinion and they know of him. They probably follow him on these platforms as well. So those things I think they got a lot of views. And I definitely saw when he did that, I saw a spike in both visitors and Kickstarter backers.
That's amazing. Is it he has like a little green smiley face for his user profile in BGG, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, as soon as you started saying BGG and like card games, like, oh wait, I think I know exactly who that user is. Yeah, I've read a bunch of his articles as well. That's what a great connection there. That's great.
Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna send him a game once it's done to thank him for it. But he did it all out of kindness, so he's great. He's awesome.
So if I suppose now looking at the kind of final analysis, you kind of do a deep dive here into your final conversion rates. And what I find interesting here is it looks like your paid lead backers through advertising converted at a higher rate than the organic ones. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. So I think the organic ones mainly came from my previous campaign. And the previous campaign was it was also a card game, but not with playing cards. It was a competitive game. Now it's a cooperative game. So I think the audience was very, very different. I think, did I write? Yeah, so I had 878 non-ad subscribers when I started. And of those, 47 became a backer.
Okay.
So that's a conversion rate of 5.4%. And then from the leads, I had a conversion rate of 10.1%, so almost double. And I think 10% is sort of the average or the standard, right? So that's pretty good. But I was hoping for previous backers to come back to this project again. But I think there were not too many. Most of them who did were probably friends, family, and acquaintances. And I think I saw I did a survey after the campaign, and I saw like 2 or 3 backers who also backed the previous project, and that's where they knew the current project from. So it was very, very little.
Great. And then in terms of the return on ad spend, here you have what you could directly attribute to ads. So you work out what's about a 3x return on ad spend from what I can see here. So
that's right.
It was much higher for your pre-campaign effort. So again, I think it shows the importance of that pre-launch marketing and all the organic stuff and everything else you're doing. It all kind of works together and pre-marketing is kind of where you want to put a lot of your attention on your
for sure.
campaign.
Yeah, definitely. I think what was nice about the during marketing ads is that it's during the mid campaign slump you get at least some people to pledge, so it feels good. I think I got around I got about, so my whole campaign did, let's say, around 20K, and I got 2,500 from during campaign ads. That's my best analysis, basically. So that's roughly a little over 10%, 12%. So it's not bad. But the pre-campaign ads did 4,600, but that's what I could attribute directly to those ads. And then there's this whole bunch of other category, which was 5,300 euros, which I didn't know where to categorize, basically.
Okay.
So probably from the ads, that's the most likely
Or ad
source.
adjacent, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, your kind of key takeaway here is that the ads were the primary revenue drivers for about 44% of your overall revenue came from your advertising efforts, which is I think shows the importance of it shows the importance of getting these things right and kind of being able to optimize and move forward, and I suppose all the other benefits. I do know that, for example, knowing that the video works well in the ads, you can then use it on LinkedIn, right? Because it works here, it's going to work here. So things like that you can learn from the ads. Kind of even helps amplify your organic efforts if you're able to kind of extract the data that you need from the live campaign.
Yeah, I should have done this during the live campaign or before. Yeah.
So you also have written reviews here, and it looks like these written reviews, and these are kind of like from blog websites or from news sites, they didn't seem to do too much in terms of driving traffic.
No, they did not. I think I got, traffic-wise, to the landing page, I got 8 visitors in total from all these. There were, I don't know how many there were, but there were, I think, at least, let's say, 10 or so written reviews. Driving 8 visitors is, that's not a lot, I would say. That's not a good conversion rate. I think there were in total 4 backers from directly coming from those written reviews, spending 88 euros in total, which is nice, and that's awesome. But yeah, it's not, of course, not. There's no direct conversion from reviews to pledges or leads. That's sort of my conclusion here.
And were these paid articles, or were they just free ones? That
they're all free ones. So that's okay. So that's nice. Of course, I did have to send a prototype their way. Have a prototype ready for them, but then they created the content, free of charge. So the effort is quite low, and it's nice to, maybe people visit the site, they get familiarized with your game, and then they do some other stuff, and then go to your Kickstarter, of course. So it might not be direct attribution, and more sort of brand awareness, if you will. So I guess I would engage with these again, because they were all very nice, and it's cool to get some reviews on your game, because it builds some credibility as well. But it's not for direct conversion.
Yeah, I think articles like this would do well long term in terms of just building up the SEO for your website. If you ever decide to sell this on like a Shopify store or something, or e-commerce, then to have like the article linking to your website, your landing page, which is now no longer a landing page collecting emails, it's now your store, could be useful in like the long term goal here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, for sure. And that's also why I like, if we come back to the Substack, what's nice about it is that these articles can still be discovered. So everybody who searches for Riverheads, they still land on Substack at the moment. Or actually, I've now moved over to my own blog, where I posted the same articles, but also new article and content. And that will remain there forever, or at least as long as I keep it there. So that's good for the future. Sort of, that's investing in the future as well.
And what do you do with Substack? Because if people are still reaching you on Substack and then signing up with emails there, are you just manually, maybe once a month, kind of seeing anyone new and then porting it to your, I suppose, true email list?
Yeah, that's right. That's what I'm doing right now. Yeah, there are not too many organic people coming to the Substack though, because it's not super SEO friendly. It doesn't rank high on Google or other search engines, so not too many people visit my Substack. But I get a subscriber every now and then I just copy them over to my mailing list.
Okay. Yeah. So it means to keep in mind that if you do go the Substack route, you might have this position where you get emails that you have to manually port in, and if that doesn't sound too enticing, then it might not be the best path forward.
Yeah, you can always export and import into your new tool, of course, but it's a bit of a hassle. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now that you have your own blog, you might just take those articles off Substack and just port them over to your new system and then shut it down or something.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the best strategy to get people on my blog, and of course, the people who now said yes, I want to keep posted, keep updated on all the things that you do. I'm gonna, of course, get them on my mailing list for my blog as well. But one thing that I'm wondering now is, I've got my current mailing list. My blog is more about game design and game publishing, so I don't want to, overwhelm people with that information, but I do want to keep people posted. So I'm thinking about the best strategy on how to move forward now. I'm not entirely sure about it, but so if people do have tips, let me know, or let people know in the Crowdfunding Nerds Facebook group, because I'm a reader there.
Cool. So I suppose just finally, you've got these kind of lessons learned. You said no stretch goals. You have no more paid content creators, only YouTube, and then no small Instagram accounts. So you maybe want to speak into these last 3 points, and then we can anything else you want to bring up.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so I think, of course, you guys talk a lot about stretch goals in your podcast, and sort of it's a must-have, especially I think for larger games that can add additional content and do real nice content upgrades and some additional tech that you could introduce, etc. I think then it really drives or can drive excitement for backers or future backers. But with a card game that's super small, just a deck of playing cards, the only thing I could do was upgrade the card quality or upgrade the talk box quality, and it feels a bit lame, really, because I wanted to do the best quality anyways.
Out the gate,
out of the gate, and I don't think it drove any excitement. I don't think it drove anything at all. It was just a hassle to update it all the time and to find ways to introduce these stretch goals. So I wouldn't do it again. Just would do it more clean and straightforward for a small game like this.
Yeah, I think you just kind of want to create ways where people have some type of incentive to come back and re-engage with the page. So whether it's stretch goals or whether it's daily unlocks or even like a weekly unlock, once a week on this day, we're going to unlock a new thing. And maybe even if it's a piece of, so just it's trying to find ways of getting people to re-engage with your page. I think that's really the key with stretch goals.
What worked really well, actually, now that we're talking about it, I didn't add that to the analysis. I will, is I did one update. So I first had only a red colored playmat. But I had blue and red cards. So I figured, maybe a blue playmat would be cool as well. So I posted this update on Kickstarter with Morpheus from The Matrix with the blue playmat and the red playmat in his hand instead of the blue and red pill. And that got a lot of engagements and votes on, I want a blue playmat or a purple playmat or all kinds of colors. So that also helped me to decide to actually make a blue playmat. And now the blue playmat is more popular than the red one. So I'm happy that people indicated that. But it drove a lot of people to the page, which was nice. Yeah.
Wonderful. Now you also did a survey during the campaign. So my memory served me right?
Yes. Let's see. I did do a survey during the campaign a few days before launch. I think it was two days before, or 1 week before the launch of 1 week before the launch of the Kickstarter campaign. I surveyed my email subscribers to get feedback. So what I did, I had this newsletter where I introduced the pre-launch or preview page of Kickstarter, where they could actually see the whole Kickstarter page already. To just keep them already, that they wouldn't have any surprises when the campaign went live. And I asked them for feedback on the pricing of the of the product itself, but also on the shipping costs. And that worked really well. It was sent to 2,300 people. I didn't resend it, and it got an open rate of around 40%. And I got a lot of feedback on pricing, especially on shipping costs. So, for example, my shipping costs to Canada were pretty high, like really high. And I got a lot of feedback on that. So I tried to find ways to reduce those shipping costs and make it more affordable for Canadian backers as well. And in the end, I don't know, I got, I think, about 38 Canadian backers. So it's good. Yeah, it's good that I did that. And it got a lot of engagement. And no one was surprised when the Kickstarter page actually went, or when the Kickstarter actually went live.
Great.
And then I also did a survey in the pledge manager itself. And then the nice thing about it is people want to fill out the address, which they have to do. You can just set up questions in the pledge manager, and you can make them required and mandatory. So they have to fill them out before they can finalize their order, basically. And I didn't keep it long. I asked 3 questions. So that was pretty easy for them. So I think it was like, how did you first hear about River Rats? Would you like to receive updates on future projects? And if they had any feedback, comments, or suggestions they'd like to leave. And those were the 3 questions I asked. And the nice thing about it is that it did give me a lot of insight in where people found the game for the first time. And surprisingly, a lot of people found me on Kickstarter Discovery. About 225 out of the 555 responses that I had when I created this, 225 came from Kickstarter Discovery Day. At least that's what they indicated. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
what
that is
they
interesting.
remember.
Yeah, that's what they remember. I'm sure it's not like that, but that's at least what they remember.
Yeah, I'm sure that there's people who maybe saw someone post on Facebook and they saw an ad somewhere, and then they saw it on Kickstarter and they clicked, and it's like, oh yeah, they kind of remember the last click is where they're probably thinking.
Yeah, that's what I think as well. Because if I look at the distribution of sources for the revenue on Kickstarter, Kickstarter organic accounts for about 25% and not almost 50%. So there's a bit of a mismatch between what people remember where they first saw the campaign and where they came from when they backed, at least.
So you have one thing here: no more paid content creators, only YouTube. So you found that YouTube was a better platform in terms of influencers and getting backers.
Yeah, I think so. I think having some YouTube videos on your campaign page is a must-have to build some credibility that you're a real person with a real game and some people actually like it. Of course, videos on the page work much better than a link to an Instagram post or anything. So yeah, I would definitely do some YouTubers. I don't think I would pay for YouTube videos. Maybe for a good how-to video, I might pay. But the Instagrammers, I don't think they move anything in terms of the needle, or even not for my own Instagram following. I think most of the followers on my Instagram came from the ads and not from the posts of the creators. So maybe it helps a bit for brand awareness and game awareness about the game, but I couldn't really measure it. So I wouldn't spend much time on it in the next campaign.
Or would you say the same for something like TikTok, which is similar in a lot of regards?
Yeah, I only did one TikTok account, like I said, a very big one with 1.5 million followers there. So that's a lot. At least I think it's a lot. It didn't do anything for me, but I'm also not on TikTok, so I have no idea how it works. So I tend to stand away from things that I don't understand. And TikTok, I don't know what the vibe is or how people communicate or how people interact. So yeah, I'm not gonna put my hands on that again.
Cool. Well, Robin, thank you so much for doing up this big write-up. We'll include a link in the show notes for people to kind of look through and have a think about. And there's links to everything, and it's very well documented. Is there anything else you'd like to share with anyone listening, or what worked, what didn't work, or where they can find what you're working on next?
Yeah, sure. So I think we covered everything that I could think of about what works and doesn't work. The main message is, I think, ads work. Content creators, not so much, I think, but maybe for brand awareness. And spend a lot of time on pre-campaign, really, and not during campaign. I think that's also a key lesson here. And about where you can find things about me. Well, the River Rats campaign on Kickstarter, so it's River Rats card game, is still in late pledge. So do check it out. And there's my blog. It's robinstokkel.com. And that's it. It's about my card games. This article is on there as well. It's also about the design of River Rats. The co-designer did a post there as well. So those two places are great, I think.
Well, Robin, thanks so much for joining us, and excited to see what you come up with next. And I hope folks check out your late pledge as well. So thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. Yeah, this was fun. Thanks.
We'll have Robot Richard sign us out.
Well, that's all the time we have for this week's episode of Crowdfunding Nerds. For more resources, articles, and to listen to past podcasts, please visit us at crowdfundingnerds.com. And if you have a crowdfunding question, we also have a page on our site where you can send a message directly to us. Please visit crowdfundingnerds.com/question. And if your question is a great question, we may include it in a future podcast. Thank you all again for listening to this week's episode, and we'll see you next week. Stay nerdy.
Hey, Crowdfunding Nerds, it's Andrew Lowen, and I wanted to introduce you guys to the Crowdfunding Nerds Academy. If you don't know, we have a do-it-yourself course system that will teach you how to build, excite, and prepare a crowd to fund you on your launch day, and that is our goal. I have used these systems to help raise over $30 million for tabletop campaigns, over 200 tabletop crowdfunding campaigns since 2019. I've generated over $100 million through e-commerce sales using these processes. These courses teach you how to replicate our results. They're made for the small creator. Over 150 of those people were first-time creators. These courses contain hundreds of hours of podcast discussions and tons of details that are almost impossible to find on the internet. And they have been distilled into concentrated courses that you can absorb quickly. They are designed to generate results. We hold nothing back. Visit crowdfundingnerds.com/academy to learn more, or just Google search Crowdfunding Nerds Academy.